Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie, and today we're watching Memento. At least I think we're supposed to watch Memento. I can't really remember. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome if you're new. Today we are diving on into another Christopher Nolan film, and that is Memento. And not just any Christopher Nolan film. I believe this is his second film, so very early on in his career. And this movie was definitely a bold introduction to him as a director. I've already seen it at the time of me filming this intro, and it was something. Let me tell you, it was something. It had been on my list for a really long time. It was definitely one of those movies that I would not have really known about or been familiar of if it weren't for you guys and this community. So thanks to your suggestions, it made it on my list, and it finally won a poll over on my Patreon page, and I was super stoked to check this one out. If you'd like to watch this movie along with me in a watch-along style format, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon, always linked in the description down below. And you can also vote in polls over there to help me decide what I watch next. I also have my other channel, Natty Gold, linked down below as well, where I do live streams and gaming and other kinds of random content. Just a place to have fun and see a different side of me if you're not sick of me over here already. But that's all I really have for this intro. I'm just excited to see a different story from a familiar director. Definitely make sure to stick around to the end of my video if you'd like to see how I rate this film. And with all that being said, I think it's time to grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into the movie. Is that the Memento, that photo? Lovely. I wonder if Guy Pearce's character is going to be like a detective. Maybe not. I love he's shaking the Polaroid picture even though it looked pretty developed. It almost, it's fading. Oh my God, it's getting, wait, it's like going in reverse. It's like undeveloping. Well, maybe it's not getting worse. Actually, I mean, the content of the photo, I guess it's getting better. Oh, he ain't a detective, huh? Is he gonna be like a murderer or some shit? He's got blood all over his face. Yeah, Christopher Nolan and time, man. He does, like, already the way we started, things are running in reverse a little bit. Oh, like really in reverse. He loves time, Christopher Nolan. He's obsessed with time. Oh.
You just wake up and you're in a motel room. There's the key.
Do you have memory problems?
Lenny!
Oh, you gonna die, son.
Like I told you before.
Did you?
Oh, he's already got
Must have forgot.
the marks on his face still.
I guess I've already told you about my condition.
Oh, well, only every time I see you.
What does he have? Oh, the memory condition. Oh, he does have a memory problem. I was making a joke, but he does.
I got a lead on a place.
Oh, what the hell you want to go there?
He is a detective with a memory problem? Already, this is a very interesting character. It's like the 51st dates of true crime.
Teddy. Don't believe his lies. He is the one. Kill him.
Huh?
I finally found him.
Oh my God. What?
Beg my wife's forgiveness before I blow your brains out.
Oh, somebody killed his wife.
Come on, let's go down to the basement. Let's go down, you and me together. Then you'll know who you really are.
No!
He still killed him. I wonder what happened to him.
Sammy Jankis had the same problem, but he really had no system.
Oh, he got that tattooed on himself, so he'd never forget.
If you're gonna make it work.
Shave! Wait, you can't even remember to shave? Why do you need to shave your leg, though? Oh, we're seeing the moment when he wrote that on the picture. So he thinks Teddy killed his wife, which might be the case, but I wonder how this guy has a memory problem. Like if he's always had it, or if he got shot in the head and had brain damage, or... Already there's a lot of really interesting things going on. Oh my God, the facts! He really did just get tattoos of things that he wanted to remember. But that's crazy, because then he's gotta think, did I ask for this tattoo? Like, did I do it myself, or did I go somewhere to get this tattoo done, or did somebody just do it to me and it's not actually true? Like, that would get confusing.
Natalie.
Hey! Who's Natalie? Who's Natalie?
Mr. Gamble?
Lenny, is that you?
John Gamble?
Lenny, it's Teddy. Stay there. I'll be right over.
Okay. I'll be waiting.
Stay there. He didn't even ask where he was calling from. He just knew? Yeah, read the facts, please. I gotta know. What does it say? Oh, he's got some on his chest, too. Wow, he's got a lot of text all over him. Did he get it It does look like he got it tattooed on backwards, so he can read... Oh, not all of it. Never mind. Some of it's backwards, so he can read it in the mirror, and a lot of it's not. Don't trust your weakness. Notes can be lost. Memory is treachery. Oh my God. Male, white. Okay, great. That just leaves A large chunk of the population. Oh, okay. These are the other facts. Yeah, I don't know if it's this guy, though. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somebody else. You never start the movie knowing who it is.
7IU.
Oh. What if he got it wrong, though? Man, the concept for this is so interesting. Like this, I'm presuming he's trying to get revenge on whoever killed his wife. That would make sense to me. But just us being here with this guy's head and him not knowing the world around him or not really like understanding all of the facts, and like we're trying to piece it together at the same time as him and murdered my wife. Yep. Wow. And he's putting all of his faith and trust in that tattoo and the notes on his body. He's like, I just am assuming I'm right.
Today, 1 p.m., meet Natalie for info. She has also lost someone. She will help you out of pity.
Ooh, what did the note say before that he scribbled out? I'm so curious. Man, a character like this is automatically super like interesting and captivating. Like it makes you feel dropped right into the movie and want to watch everything.
To me, she was perfect.
No, don't just recite the words. Close your eyes and remember her.
Ooh, I love the choice of the sound design there. Just drop it out, fade it out.
And you can feel these extreme moments. You put these together and you get the feel of a person. Enough to know how much you miss them. And how much you hate the person who took them away.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like the memory of her is already muddied by the hatred and vengeance of what happened to her.
Oh, you still staying at the Discount Inn? Room 304? Left it at my place.
Okay, why'd he leave it at her place? It's sad too because of his condition. You can never really move on from what happened because he can't make any new relationships or new memories with people. He just remembers like the people of his past. So like his wife is ever present in his mind. Not that he would need to forget her, but just like you can't make new relationships and connections with other people to help you grieve and move on.
I'd investigate the claims to see which ones were phony. I had to see through people's bull.
Who's he talking to?
My job taught me the best way to find out what someone knew was just let him talk.
Uh-huh, that's true.
If someone scratches their nose while they're talking, experts will tell you it means they're lying.
That's what I do at most like Hollywood parties. I mean, I'm not trying to read people. I'll just let them talk about themselves because people will enjoy you more if you just let them talk about themselves.
What about John G? You think he's still here?
Who?
Johnny G, the guy you're looking for.
He's reminding him about it.
Leonard, look, you have to be very careful.
Why?
The other day,
Oh.
maybe somebody was trying to set you up, get you to kill the wrong guy.
Oh, I bet this guy didn't do it. And they just replaced his photo on the ID or something.
You really want to get this guy, don't you?
He killed my wife. He took away my f***ing memory.
He did take away his memory. It was because of the accident.
Well, then we'll get the bastard.
Yeah, I don't think it's this guy. He's been framed. But who? Who framed him? Like, is it so far we've only met Natalie and the guy at the front desk of the Discount Inn. So is it, I can't remember that it's Paul. That's so funny.
I'd just become an investigator when I came across Sammy. Mr. Samuel R. Jankis. Strangest case ever.
Oh, that's how he remembers the story because it was when he was a new detective.
But Sammy can't remember anything for more than a couple of minutes.
Oh, that's awful.
This is my first big claims investigations.
Claims investigation. Okay. So that's what he did. He was an investigator of insurance claims. Lovely.
He can only remember things for a couple of minutes. He'd watch TV, but anything longer than a couple of minutes was too confusing. He couldn't
Oh, that's sad. Man, he had a brain wired for TikToks.
It's time for my shot.
The crazy part was that this guy could do the most complicated things
He could give her an insulin injection?
as long as he learned them before the accident, and as long as he kept his mind on what he was doing.
I'm surprised that she didn't learn how to do it herself.
I can read people, and I'm thinking, bad actor. So now I'm suspicious, and I'll order more tests.
I want to finish the story. We'll come back to it, but I was sucked in.
I should be able to talk to my friend today about the license plate.
Yeah, the license plate.
John G's license plate. You have it tattooed on your thigh.
So she just feeds him the same information every day, knowing that that's what he needs. So is she setting up Teddy? Oh my God, this movie is so confusing and interesting.
Natalie.
We really couldn't have picked a more shadowy, mysterious-looking photo to identify somebody. Like, it barely looks like her. You can't even tell who it is.
Do you think we could just arrange a meeting now? I'm not too good on the phone.
In a way, acting in a role like this, I mean, every role has its challenges, but I feel like there'd be a part of this that would be easy in a way. You don't have to do as much, like, relationship and backstory work. with other actors, you can kind of just act with everybody like it's your first time meeting them in a scene. You don't have to worry too much about like the history and having certain like memories with them.
Just pick up any 3 objects. That's a test? Oh! What the f***?
It's a test, Sammy.
We'll test this, you f***ing quack.
I wonder if he's gonna remember.
Always with the same objects electrified. The point was to see if Sammy could learn to avoid the electrified objects, not by memory, but by instinct.
Ah. There's definitely going to be a point to this Sammy Jankis story because it's so important to him. And we've also seen a lot of elements of his day repeat over and over as he's woken up each time.
Natalie, right? Who the is Dodd?
Oh.
You offered to help me when you saw what he did to my face.
How do I know he did that to your face?
Because I came straight to you after he did it. I showed you what he did, and I asked you to help me. Leonard, you decided to help me. Trust yourself. Trust your own judgment. You can question everything. You can never know anything for sure.
I don't trust anybody, man. I don't trust anyone. Everybody's sketchy to me.
I've lost somebody, too.
I'm sorry.
His name was Jimmy.
She just pulled the photo out of nowhere, presumably. She was just holding it?
I don't even know how long she's been gone.
Oh, that's sad. Does it just feel like it was yesterday?
If I could just reach over and touch her side of the bed, I would know that it was cold. But I can't.
Oh, it's so sad. That really paints a picture.
So how can I heal?
Dude, I don't know. That's what I was saying. It's like impossible for you to heal.
They kept testing Sammy for months. Always with the same objects carrying the electrical charge.
For months, he kept doing it.
Even with total short-term memory loss, Sammy should have learned to instinctively stop picking up the wrong object.
And he couldn't.
All the previous cases responded to conditioning. Sammy didn't respond at all.
He flipped him off so many times. I love that. That edit is so funny.
We turned down his claim on the grounds that he wasn't covered for mental illness.
Aw.
His wife got stuck with the bills, and I got a big promotion.
Insurance companies fucking suck. Poor Sammy's wife. My God. Jesus! Oh, is he getting flashes of the accident? Like the incident?
Nothing in the drawers, but I'll take a look anyway. Nothing except the Gideon Bible.
And a gun. What a... Oh! What an image to have the gun over the Bible there. Oh, and he's here! And he's got a guy in the fucking closet. It's the guy that he's gonna snap a photo of, probably, that beat Natalie, I guess, supposedly.
Your name.
Dodd.
And who did this to you?
What?
Who did this to you?
You did.
He's like, okay, that's enough. Oh, can you imagine the guy that did that to you? Get rid of him! Ah!
Natalie who?
Why?
Maybe I know her.
Ooh, you might know her because of what she said about some guy named Teddy, but I don't feel like, I don't get murderous vibes from this guy. I also just feel like it would be too obvious. Who is it? Oh, he's in Dodd's room. Oh, I see. We're going back into the time when he beat Dodd up. So he thought he was in his room and just starts beating a dude up.
What Mrs. Jankis didn't understand was that you can't bully someone into remembering. The more pressure you're under, the harder it gets.
What is he doing with that needle on the pen?
Well, then call me back.
Whoever he's telling the story to needs to call him back. Who's he talking to? I have questions. Oh, is this how he's gonna tattoo himself? No fucking way. The rest of his tattoos, like not all of them, but some of them look really nice, like the font. So that wouldn't make sense. But I guess he's about to tattoo himself again.
Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, I'm chasing this guy.
Ah! He just remembered, oh.
Chasing me.
Ah! He thought he was chasing him and then he was like, oh crap, wait. That's funny.
White guys, Mount Crest Inn on 5th Street. I'll get the jump on you, you f***er.
Well, that was him. Oh, and that's when he ended up at his place. And I see. Bro, if it's that easy to pick a lock, then like, you're f***ed.
$99.95, 98 a month, 7 Toyota RAV4, $11,995.
That's not him.
Sorry.
Sorry! That's funny as f***. Thank God that dude wasn't white or he would have been f***ed. Oh, that's his car.
What the?
What the? Oh, shit. All right.
I like your car.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it?
Are you interested in buying one?
What, I haven't made a strong enough impression on you?
I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. He doesn't care that there's a gun pointed at him. This dude's crazy. Oh my God, I love how we just cut to him running. Like he got out of the car so fast. All right, so Dodd's a prick.
Everything okay?
Jesus Christ. He's looking for her and he's got to remember that she's gone. That's terrifying. That was freaky as Christopher Nolan. Jesus.
You know, it got to the point where she'd get Sammy to hide food all around the house, and then she'd stop feeding him just to see if he's hungry and make him remember where he'd hidden the food.
Oh.
She wasn't a cruel person. She just wanted her old Sammy back.
Yeah, that's so up, but so, like, sad. Like, I empathize, but...
Just that his condition can't be shown to be
I
fit.
just want to know what your honest opinion about Sammy is.
I'm surprised that she believed the insurance company. Like, insurance companies lie and do whatever they can to avoid payouts.
I need to know what you honestly believe.
I'd be recording his ass, too.
I believe that Sammy should be physically capable of making new memories.
Damn. He just lied to her.
Thank you.
Or
I thought I'd helped her. I thought she just needed some kind of answer.
She did, but it wasn't the right answer. You gave her hope on something that wasn't possible, because that was your position with the company.
You're still here because of Natalie.
Who's Natalie?
Schmuck, whose house do you think you just walked out of? Oh, that's right. Take a look at your pictures. I bet you got one of her. Oh, nice shot, Leibowitz.
That's what I said! It's too artsy! How would you know?
You're lucky I ran into you. Bro, it's bad news.
What do you mean, bad news?
Her boyfriend's a drug dealer.
Why should I care?
Because when she gets jammed up, she's gonna use you to protect herself.
From who?
Guys are gonna wanna know what happened to her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Dodd.
Somebody always pays. Maybe she'll make it you.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe she'll make it you. Is that it? You worried that she's gonna use me against you?
Wow, there's so many moving parts in this movie and like so much double crossing and mistrusting of one another.
Take my pen. Write this down. Do not trust her.
He doesn't trust you. I don't know if he wants to write it down. He's gonna write it down, but...
There.
He wrote it in different handwriting. He wrote it in a different style of handwriting. Intentionally.
Do not trust
And
her.
and he crossed that out. That's what he crossed out.
Don't believe his lies.
And that's in his handwriting. And he crossed it out. Well, we got that reveal. We're like doing this whole movie backwards, you know? Which Christopher Nolan did kind of show that was what was going to happen because the movie started with everything rewinding.
Write down what happened. Write it down. Write it down. Come on, concentrate. Give it your mind. Find it.
Oh, Natalie's going to ruin his memory. He's not going to remember.
Wants to know what happened to Jimmy and his money. He thinks I have it. He thinks I took it.
She took all the pens away. She took away all the pens. She doesn't want him writing things down.
Jimmy's partners think I set him up. I don't know if you know this, Teddy, or how well.
Neither do I.
Don't protect him.
I'm not.
Help me.
How?
Oh my God.
Get rid of Dodd for
Oh
me.
my God.
Kill him. I'll pay you.
Everyone's just trying to take advantage of this man.
I'm gonna use you. I'm telling you now because I'm gonna enjoy it so much more if I know that you could stop me if you weren't such a f***ing freak. Did you lose your pen? Well, that's too bad, freak. Otherwise, you could write yourself a little note about how much Natalie hates your guts and that I called your wife a f***ing whore.
Hey, don't say another word.
About your whore of a wife?
Did he end up punching her?
Maybe your of a f***ing wife sucked one too many disease.
She egged him on so that he'd punch her, huh? And then pretended like it was somebody else so she could use him. Is that what's going on?
We'll still be best friends. Or maybe even lovers.
And he can't write it down because she took the pens!
I'll see you soon.
Oh, God. She was really cocky knowing that he didn't have a pen.
I gotta write this down.
Oh, no. No. Teddy was right. Ew, the way she's looking at him is so creepy. Poor dude.
I was asleep. Something woke me up. Her side of the bed was cold. She'd obviously been out of bed for a while.
That would be the most terrifying feeling ever, to wake up in bed and not only do you hear that somebody's in your house, but your partner is not in bed. Did he kill a guy? Oh no. Oh no. I mean, he had to have brain damage occur. Oh, that's so sad. I wonder who it was. I want to know. Oh my God.
Somebody hit me from behind. I remember.
Maybe 2 people? I don't trust anybody. Is it all of them? They all did it. They all killed his wife. The editing, the choice of like certain inclusion of like super short shots from distant memories makes everything feel really like frantic and overwhelming and confusing. I really like it. Just to show the insulin shot there with Sammy Jankis. It's an interesting choice.
I didn't tell you? What happened to Sammy and his wife? She went home and gave Sammy his final exam.
No.
Sammy, it's time for my shot.
Oh no.
She knew beyond a doubt that he loved her.
Oh.
So she found a way to test him.
No. Oh, and ask for another shot too early?
Sammy, it's time for my shot.
No. Babe, why?
She really thought she'd call his bluff.
Babe.
Or she just didn't want to live with the things she put him through.
Oh. Again? Not again. She did it again.
Sammy, it's time for my shot.
Babe. Oh, poor Sammy, man.
She went into a coma and never recovered.
Oh. And now he's all alone. Right, he wouldn't have known what happened.
He's been in a home ever since.
Oh.
He doesn't even know that his wife is dead.
Oh.
I was wrong about Sammy.
That's so sad. Yeah, you were.
When I looked into his eyes, I thought I saw recognition. Now I know you fake it. If you think you're supposed to recognize somebody, you just pretend to.
Yeah.
You bluff it to seem less of a freak.
Whoa. That choice there to like quickly shift it to being Leonard instead of Sammy was so interesting.
Hey, Lenny. Make him beg.
Oh, is Lenny gonna kill Jimmy? And then that's why Natalie wants revenge on Lenny and Teddy? It's the only thing I can guess, but I mean, this is crazy. I've never watched a movie unfold in reverse order. Oh my God, just walking up with a pipe like that. He's walking up with a tire iron while looking really confused. It's just an interesting combination. I don't know what I'm here for, but probably to kill somebody. That's Jimmy's car. Oh, yeah, he had the truck. Oh, he thinks he's meeting Teddy.
Do you remember me?
Yeah, I remember you. Where the f***'s Teddy? Well...
Oh my God. Oh, that's how he got the scratch marks on his face. He really thinks that Jimmy killed his wife? My God. Lenny has just he's being used by everybody. Oh, and he took his suit! He took his clothes! Oh, no wonder Natalie's pissed. He just whispered Sammy's name? No way.
He said Sammy. How does he know about Sammy?
Is he just hearing this? Is that Teddy? Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not as serious as his, because this guy's dead.
Ow! Lenny! That killed!
So you remember me now, huh? You are a cop.
Yeah! And I'm the guy to help you find him.
He can't be a real cop. Really? There's no way!
So you lie to yourself to be happy. There's nothing wrong with that. We all do it. Who cares if there's a few little details you'd rather not remember?
What the are you talking about?
I don't know. Your wife surviving the assault. Her not believing your condition.
What?
The insulin.
No way. It was a story he made up to make himself feel better.
See, Sammy's wife came to me.
Sammy didn't have a wife. It was your wife who had diabetes.
Oh, man.
Like old Jimmy down there.
He's not the right guy.
He was to you. What difference does it make whether he was your guy or not?
It makes a huge difference.
You won't remember.
When it's done, I will know. It'll be different.
Well, I thought so too. In fact, I was sure of it, but you didn't. That's right. The real John G. I helped you find him over a year ago. He's already dead.
I was the cop assigned to your wife's case. I believed you. I thought you deserved a chance for revenge.
I don't know whether or not to believe this dude. Maybe he's telling the truth. I don't fucking know.
We found him. You killed him.
But that wouldn't, there's no way that like a cop would let this happen and...
Couple of junkies too strung out to realize your wife didn't live alone. But when you killed them, I was so convinced that you'd remember. But it didn't stick. Like nothing ever sticks, like this won't stick.
What is that photo about?
I took that picture. Just when you did it.
Really?
I should kill you.
Quit it, Lenny, come on. You're not a killer. That's why you're so good at it.
Oh my God.
Can I just let myself forget what you've told me?
That's when he wrote that down. Interesting. Dude, I don't know what to believe in him when he's burning those photos.
You think I just want another puzzle to solve? Another John G to look for? You're John G, so you can be my John G.
Oh my God.
Do I lie to myself to be happy? In your case, Teddy. Yes, I will.
Wow, that's crazy.
I have to believe that when my eyes are closed, the world's still here.
Bruh, you gotta open your eyes, you're driving.
We all need ways to remind ourselves who we are.
Whoa, what a line. The lies we tell ourselves, huh? Oh, and that's when
Now, where was I?
That's when he went into the tattoo shop to get the, whoa. Oh my God, y'all. That's crazy. Interesting. Very interesting. I think I understand why there's a lot of hype behind this movie, style-wise and cinematography-wise, and just the editing and the way everything is pieced together is very captivating, very flashy, and very unique, especially for the time. I think the entire feel and style for the movie is a vibe. It's very gritty, very interesting. The fact that you don't really know which characters to trust and what everyone's motives are makes everything automatically a bit more suspenseful and captivating to watch. I do think all in all, this story was a little bit more heady and a little bit less emotional. Personally, I'm a bit more attracted to stories that have a bit more emotional weight or characters that I can maybe like empathize with a bit more. I think there were moments of that in this story, given that Leonard has been through some pretty tragic stuff, but just because of the way it was pieced together, those emotions and that weight didn't really hit me. And so it definitely felt like a more intellectual, heady piece. I was definitely more in the mindset of like trying to piece together a puzzle the entire time while watching this, which was fun and definitely interesting, but not necessarily emotionally impactful for me, at least. It's interesting with Christopher Nolan films because I think the more emotional his stories, I think the better, because films like Dunkirk, Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy, a lot of those movies had a lot of emotional weight to them and really heavy moments, really dark moments where like I couldn't look away from the screen and it just felt like my heart was being ripped out of my chest in empathy for the lead characters. But then movies like this one, Inception, even Oppenheimer didn't feel as emotional to me and felt more impressive cinematically, impressive from an effects perspective, impressive from an editing and filmmaking perspective, also impressive from acting, but just not as emotionally impactful as those other movies. So it's interesting because like half of his repertoire has moved me so much emotionally, while the other half has just kind of been more like heady and intellectual, which isn't necessarily what I'm always looking for out of a film. I kind of like it when it's a mix of both, or maybe leaning more towards the emotional side of things. But I definitely understand why people love this movie. I mean, objectively, it's a really well-made film, especially from a filmmaker and director who's only made 2 films at this point. Like this was his second film in his career. Definitely really impressive. And when you look at his entire repertoire, I mean, he definitely is a very skilled filmmaker and is deserving of all of the awards and attention that he's received. Very talented individual. But with all that being said, how would I rate this movie? So when I'm rating a movie, I look at 4 categories, 1 being sound design, 2 being production value, 3 being acting, and 4 being story. I think the sound design for this movie was pretty strong. There were a lot of moments where the sound would just kind of fade out or drop out for emphasis on whatever the protagonist was about to say next, or to emphasize that feeling of being in his head. Like one specific moment that stands out to me is that scene in the diner with Natalie when she tells him to really remember his wife, and the whole noise and ambiance just fades away from the diner and it's just silent in his head and he's just remembering his wife. There were also a lot of jarring moments with the sound design that really caught me off guard. Quick edits and quick cuts to like jarring noise from silence that just really felt like it was dropping you back into a different memory. I really don't have a bad thing to say about the sound design, honestly. I feel like I really mostly just noticed it when cool things were happening or suspenseful things were happening that really caught my attention from a filmmaking perspective. impressive, but if it wasn't something super unique going on with the sound, I almost didn't notice it. And that is a better goal, honestly, than being hyper aware of the way that a film sounds. So I think the sound was really impressive and really great, especially for a second-time filmmaker. So I would give it a 10 out of 10. Production value also, I mean, a lot of the movie I was commenting on the cinematography, the choreography of shots, the editing. I really, really enjoyed the editing for this one. And a lot of that is the way that the script is written, of course. But I really loved the choices to show flashes of the last memory that he had ever present in his brain, which was his wife's death. There were so many quick flashes of that if you blinked, you missed it. And quite honestly, I think there were times when I did miss a couple things because I blinked, which not only is interesting from a perspective of like the protagonist and being in his head, it really makes you feel like you are in his brain the entire time. Like my memory felt like his memory, where I couldn't really retain a lot of information because things were being thrown at me so fast with the edits. And also scenes were changing so quickly that it made it really difficult to piece things together, which was the goal. It really felt like I was inside of his head for a lot of the film. And I think the editing and cinematography had a lot to do with that. It's also cool that there were certain moments that if you blinked, you missed it, because it makes the viewing experience different a second time around, which is just kind of fun. The sets and the costumes, I mean, were immersive and, fit the world perfectly. It didn't look like anything was super expensive for this film in regards to the sets, maybe the cars a little bit, but there were a lot of repetition of certain scenes and certain sets happening since he was kind of almost reliving his days over and over again, just in slightly different ways. So I imagine that made things a little bit more accessible in the budget. Definitely felt really believable. Nothing was too fantastical or felt like it didn't fit the style of the film. I mean, I think all in all, tonally, this film was really cohesive. It's interesting because now I am thinking, why were there certain moments that were in black and white? And it was funny because I had that same thought about Oppenheimer, which I know a lot of people have said that in Oppenheimer, it's because Robert Downey Jr.'s character looking at the world in a more black and white type of way and not from a more creative and scientifically opened mind like Oppenheimer. But it's funny because in that movie, I really just was noticing, oh, we're in black and white again. And in this movie, it was kind of the same thing where I just kept starkly noticing, oh, we're in black and white again. But it didn't really feel like it impacted me. You guys can definitely let me know in the comments down below what your opinion is on the black and white scenes. I'm sure there's going to be people who have really strong feelings on why that worked for me. Again, it just felt like another time in the film where I was like, oh, we're in black and white, but I don't really understand the purpose that it's serving. It felt like a vibe, but that was kind of about it. But all in all, the production value is strong. So I think with all of that being said, I would give it a 9 out of 10. When it comes to the acting, I mean, the actors were very strong in this film. They did a great job of feeling really sincere in some moments and then showing their hand a bit in other moments when they were maybe like revealing that their intentions weren't as pure or they were manipulating Leonard, which kept things very suspenseful and kept me on edge the entire time. Guy Pearce did a great job with his performance. He definitely had a lot to tackle with this film. There were moments when he was kind of trying to appear like he knew what he was doing and didn't want to let on to other people his condition necessarily. There were other times where he was really open and vulnerable and emotional, and times when he was completely paranoid and frantic. So I think his performance was really strong and he did what he needed to do within each scene. The actors did a great job listening to one another and feeding off of one another. I think the performances were all subtle in the moments that they needed to be, while also matching the stakes of each scene as things got more and more intense. Even small roles like Sammy and Mrs. Jankins, the actors did a great job. Those scenes moved me a lot, and every time we were dropped back into that story, I was definitely really interested and really believed the heartbreak that wife was going through. I really enjoyed her scene a lot with Leonard at the insurance office. So all in all, I don't really have anything bad to say about the acting either. I tend to be a little bit more generous with acting, I think, because I've worked with actors a lot, and I also know that sometimes the acting that you're seeing might be up to the direction as well. But I also think the actors did a really strong job with this one, so I would give them a 10 out of 10. And the last category is the story. I'm a bit torn on this one. I think when this movie started, I was instantly hooked. Everything felt really suspenseful, really fast-paced, and I loved the mystery of it all. And I really enjoyed the fact that not only is this lead character completely confused and can't remember things and can't piece things together, but we as the audience feel completely dropped in to his way of thinking, and we're piecing things together the same piecemeal, confused kind of way that he is. It felt very immersive in that way. I also enjoyed the fact that you just didn't know who to trust, and it seems like everyone was kind of using Leonard, and so it made things really muddy, really messy. But by the end, I don't really feel like the ending felt as satisfying as I was really hoping for. I think part of the problem was for the whole movie, you don't really know who to trust. And then by the end of the film, it seems like the only person that was actually telling Lenny the truth was Teddy. And there's some truth in him saying, like, we've already killed the guy and it doesn't matter. You're still going to have this drive and this purpose to catch your wife's killer. You don't want it to be over because it's the only thing that you have. And so in a way, it makes sense that Leonard would then go, right, don't believe his lies on the back of Teddy's photo, because he wants to keep living for that same purpose each day and keep pursuing this hypothetical figure that he's already taken care of and is already actually killed. But I wish that it had somehow felt more tragic that that was the path that he chose and felt like a downfall of the character. It didn't really feel emotionally impactful to me. It just kind of felt like, oh, there's the explanation and this mystery's already been solved, but he's just living each day based on these notes that he's left for himself and this web of confusion that he spun for himself, because it's easier for him to live like that than to accept that his purpose is actually complete. The ending to me just didn't feel very satisfying. I felt like there was no emotional weight there. I didn't really seem to care that much what happened with the lead character by the end. I feel like if I had empathized with him a bit more, then the ending would have felt even more tragic, but I just feel like it wasn't really there. I also think it was kind of tough because when Teddy was revealing to him, like, we've already got the guy, you've already done this before, like, this Jimmy guy was just another guy I needed to take care of, like, you don't want to be done with this hunt, you don't want to be done with this search, and that's why it keeps happening. There's a million JGs out there that we can go get. It was tough because up until that point, I hadn't really been trusting anybody in the movie, so even when he's giving that speech, you're still not even really sure if you should believe him. So I feel like that bomb drop moment of that news and that delivery didn't even really hit me, because I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I believe you. So then when he goes and writes, don't believe his lies, I'm like, oh, I guess he was telling the truth and he's choosing to live in this lie. And that is a cool ending, but it just didn't have that impact that I wish it had had. So for that reason, I'm going to give the story a 7 out of 10. I know there's a lot of people who are obsessed with this movie who are probably not going to be happy with that rating, but that's how I felt about the story. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other elements of the movie. So that leaves me with a score of 36 out of 40, basically a 90 or an A-, which I think is still a really good score. I did enjoy this movie. I think it was really well made. It's just not going to be on my list of top 10 films anywhere in the near future because it didn't really impact me emotionally the way that I would have hoped, but I definitely respect it if it's a movie that you love and really appreciate, because it's top notch, it's good quality. But that's all I really have for this video, and I hope that you enjoyed watching it with me. If you did, please give this one a thumbs up so that I know and I can check out more things like this in the future with all of y'all. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and anything else you might like me to watch next, and subscribe if you want to. Till the next one, stay golden. Bye.